Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Kaii to Otome episode 3, in which, I don't know, something's gonna happen. The sensei will probably be finally discovered. I assume that they're not gonna, extend this little arc, this little story beyond just 2 episodes, although, anything can happen, really. Uh, in the previous episode, first of all, we learned a little bit more about Ren. We know that he has someone, presumably a sister, Otto, that he lives with, and that Otto, at least Otto, maybe both of them, I'm still not sure, but at least Otto is not of this world, probably. Because Ren says that he will bring her back to her original world eventually, he promises, and yet he did not exchange the book for a ticket to that other world. I assume it was a ticket to that other world. Again, I'm not sure. So something more is going on there, I fully believe. He told Otto that no, the book wasn't enough to get the ticket, but it was enough to get a ticket. Maybe not the ticket they needed, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We will learn that, I guess, probably in the future. We also know that Otto can see the warning signs. Otto and Ren. Or just... No, I think the both of them, right? Yeah, I think the both of them can see the warning signs. It's not something that exists in the world. It's not something that's just a stylistic choice by the creators of the show either. But rather it's something that only the Adashino siblings can see. It signifies that something supernatural took place there, or is currently taking place. There is some, some supernatural shenanigans going on in that particular spot. And the next, Ren is collecting those, like, curiosities, they're called, curios, something like that, and they spotted another one, or they believe that another one is at Otto's school. It's an all-girls school, so of course they need another person there who is a woman, and it just happens that Sumireko can change her body into a Joshkosei and accompany Otto to the school. They get there, shenanigans happen, and apparently at the school, some people just randomly get a very high fever and start drooling uncontrollably, and it persists as long as they are at school, and as long as they're not at school, they're fine. And also at the school, there's absolutely no bullying. Nothing nefarious whatsoever going on, right? Everything is perfect, almost too perfect. As it turns out, that's because the bullies are the ones who get the curse of drooling, and so they are quickly and promptly removed from the school because they can no longer be there because of their condition, I guess you could say. And later, at the end, we learn that it's actually a sensei, Manami? I don't know, something like that. It's the sensei at the school who is responsible for that curse of drooling, and she licks that drool up, and her shadow has horns. I don't know what she is. Probably some sort of a demon. Maybe possessed by a demon. I don't know. We'll see. I wasn't much of a fan of the fact that they just revealed that at the end of the episode. I'd much rather be kept in the dark as to who's the culprit, right? Maybe it's the sensei, maybe it's not, right? Like, lead me by the nose a little bit more, right? Keep the mystery alive a little bit more, but alas, they didn't. They revealed that, yeah, sensei is the monster here, and we're now gonna have to deal with that somehow and get the curiosity. Whatever it might be in this case. Could it be an item that possessed Sensei? Could it be Sensei herself? I don't know. We'll see, I assume, in this very episode. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we should just start watching it. Just a little bit of housekeeping. It's kind of late, so if I start yawning uncontrollably, that's the reason, not because I'm like bored with the show or anything like that. So let's watch this episode, and to do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not share my content. Spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 3 of Kaii to Otome in 3, 2, 1, go. What's this place? Oh, Sensei's backstory? She was bullied as a child for not having parents. Probably something like that. So she has a grudge against bullies. Salvia tea. Of course. Schoolyard bullying. And the other children will, of course, not treat those rags well. I mean, it's a rag, so it's whatever, really. No, it's not. Of course. Man, it's really hard for me to watch scenes like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. And of course, she's the one put at fault here. Yeah, exactly. Yes, the fuck there is. A clear problem. Okay, opening. You know what, Sensei? Let them drool. Let them drool. I approve of this method. Maybe, you know, refine your standards for bullying a little bit so that friends roughhousing a little bit with each other doesn't, you know, get them burning up. But besides that, yeah, you know what? Sure. I'm absolutely with Sensei here. I hope those bullies got their comeuppance. I hope they were the first victims of whatever powers Sensei has. Yeah, we still have yet to meet so many different characters, huh? Right, hair ornament. In the opening, Sensei was holding this, like, hairband thing. Yeah, probably. Oh, so all three of them suffered that? I thought only two victims. Yeah, they found a curiosity. Exactly. Oh, what was that? What are you doing on the floor with a jar of dirt? Can a curiosity be, like, sentient? Like, can a person be a curiosity, or is it only items that perhaps possess humans? Hmm. Yeah. Sure. Genuine mysteries are genuine mysteries. It makes sense, right? No, not really. That shot was very necessary. His eyes really creep me out. In, like, a good way, right? Oh, bait! Yeah? What? Okay, so what's the purpose behind that bait? I mean, yeah, in most cases, genuinely telling the teacher doesn't really help. Ooh, licking the shadow, not the drool. Huh. And what are you doing here, Ren? It's an all-girls school. What's going on with Sensei? Does she not... like have control? Does whatever possesses her just take over completely? And she doesn't realize that? No, she does. Okay, so curiosities can be like living, existing monsters and creatures and humans. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Zero tolerance policy. Okay, so she is not the curiosity, but rather she uses a curiosity, just like Sumireko was using the book. Damn. They're not stopping with authors' poorly hidden fetishes. The hair ornament. Yeah. That explains the title. Yeah. He's only strong towards, like, supernatural things. She's hurting bullies, though, not the, good students. It's the dilemma of is punching a, I know, is punching a burglar a bad deed or not? And she just bit a piece of it, and I assume the curiosity will live in that bit that she bit off. Hmm. I guess that does count as licking the shadow. Oh, well, that's intense. So I guess a direct lick is stronger than just licking the shadow. Oh, it's one of the what healing poems from the book, I guess. And there are the horns. That's a death flag, my dude. Okay, we get a continuation. Oh, that's the ornament she got. Hmm. How? children bullying each other, I like understand. Children are cruel. Mm-hmm. Totem. Okay, another term to remember. Also comes from Una Moshi or we feel them towards ourselves as well. Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Doesn't seem to like affect her though in any way, at least so far. Will you always be there to lick a bully's shadow though? Do what? Some sort of magic eye, evil eye powers. A skill reversal. Yeah, it's a skill reversal ability. Okay, what the fuck happened? Okay, a little bit of insight into their past. Hmm. And that's where licking the floor comes from? I was expecting the bracelet to crack or something like that. But no, what the fuck is going on? I guess his powers come at a price of purple pus. Okay, so it's genuinely just reversal powers. Yeah, he just. All the curses that she inflicted onto others, Adashino triggered them to be inflicted on herself. Mm hmm. Okay, that's useful. Yeah. You're her precious Kaii from the bookstore. disregarded. Oh, so their eyes are their strength. To see. So did he like use up his eye power? And he can no longer use it? Or is it just going to take him time to recover? Is she... Yeah, she's covering her horns, huh? What was it then? Just a grudge materialized? Sure. Okay. Chinarinki. That works as well. Okay, so the Chinarinki is like Oni, but eightfold or something. Who's she? I guess we're not gonna learn that today. Okay. This show seemed very episodic to me at the beginning, but I think it might not be quite as episodic as I thought it's gonna be. Right? First episode tied into the second one. Second episode tied into the third one. Third episode, this one also ended with a little bit of an open ending, right? We get a new character, the girl in the wheelchair. Sensei is still around, and she's in the opening, so I do assume she's at least somewhat relevant. Are we going to continue from there? Perhaps there's going to be another curiosity, another problem, something to solve, and it will be tied to the girl in the wheelchair, and she has some ties to the sensei. Right? Rather than episode, we're gonna be smoothly going between them. Maybe. Oh, okay. I thought he's reading some sort of a, I don't know, other story. Hmm. Well, bath and cleaning is there. I assume cleaning has a double meaning of cleansing. They're gonna, I don't know, exorcise some spirit or something. And a surprise, I mean, this show is full of surprises, so it could be whatever. Let's watch this episode again. We get a very good explanation for Sensei's motivations and Sensei's powers. I'm gonna skip over it, forgive me, but I just cannot watch that. I'm sorry. Ah. Yeah, I know. I just fucking hate bullying. I would be exactly like the sensei if I had the exact same powers, honestly. I mean, bullying is one thing, but incompetent teachers, that really grinds my fucking gears when the teacher has the power to do something but doesn't, right? The bullied kid comes to the teacher and the teacher's like, well, you two both were in the fight, the victim and the whatchamacallit, the victim and the perpetrator, so you're both at fault here. You both get detention. Fucking hate this shit, man. And a little bit of a rant on zero tolerance policy. When you ensure that the kid who gets bullied, who gets beaten up, gets the same exact punishment as the kid who beats him up, you give the bullied kid every single fucking incentive to give back what he gets. Twice fold, 10 fucking fold. Because if he's gonna get suspended anyway, well, might as well break the bully's nose on the way out, right? Rant over. Let's continue. Yeah, Sensei does appear here, and fairly early on, while we seemingly see like the more important characters, I guess. Because here at the end we see a slew of other characters that, right, this magical girl, the fox girl, that I assume are like secondary, tertiary, which really makes me think that the sensei is a little bit more important, or at least she's going to be recurring. I don't know. All three collapsed and are unhurt. Yeah, because Sensei doesn't harm them actively. What's going on here? It won't get away. There is something much more to Ren, and I really have no fucking clue what it is. But there is something more to him. Where are you? Kaii to Otome. There it is. Mysterious disappearances. All my three theories right now are all about Ren. Curiously enough. Ren has some other use for curiosities. Something like, I don't know, he claims that he only collects them to get the ticket to the other world, to bring Otto with him, to bring them both back. But his actual reason and why he needs to gather more curiosities than just the book, even though the book would suffice, is something else. He needs curiosities. Assuming curiosities are currency, then he needs enough money for something. And I wonder what could it be? Or he needs the powers of the curiosities. He mentioned that they got thrown out, banished from their original world, and something happened in that world, we see. I wonder if he might want revenge, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna get a ticket to our original world, and we're also gonna buy a couple of magical WMDs and blow that world to fucking smithereens. And then we're gonna go back here because they treat us good in this world. Right? Maybe something like that? Seems plausible. Actually. Ren wants revenge on their old world slash people. Something in that ballpark. What's she doing on the floor? Yeah, I wonder. Even at times in this episode, I wondered if Otto might be just an excuse for him. Right? Like she doesn't really matter all that much, but it's a convenient excuse why he has to collect the curiosities. Or maybe he has some other use for her, right? And here's the late hour catching up with me. There's something to it. Right, that's a categorization of mysteries, and he has a very simple definition of genuine mysteries. Genuine mysteries are genuine mysteries. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, genuine mysteries are genuine curiosities, which, I mean, doesn't really change anything in the definition, does it? Very rare, so I have an idea of what it could be. He openly opens his eyes when he's at home. Well, not really. Mostly opens his eyes when he's with Otto. I wonder if it's their eyes that allow them to communicate telepathically. Yeah, that's a little bit. That's a little bit on the nose. That's very elaborate bullying. Like yellow tape, keep out. Spike things glued to the top of the door frame. Can't you just rip off the tape and take them off? That's only Sensei could fall for it, honestly. That's such an overblown example. And yeah, the next progression of her, bullies should not be at school is, well, the victims also need a time off. How to ensure that they can get the time off from school? Well, use the same exact thing on them. Problem is, when you do that, they will not be back at school, right? They will not be back, so you lost a good student. You harmed the victim. And now he can be here. Couldn't be here from the get-go. I really thought that Sensei is just being possessed briefly by some spirit, and she doesn't necessarily realize what she's doing herself because of her reaction here. How genuine and not this her reaction was, right? From a shadow licking demon to a completely meek and scared young woman. But no, apparently she does it all willingly and knowingly, and this is reminiscent to how she had to eat her food off the floor. So I wonder if that played a role in how exactly she, licks the shadows. She's a curvy woman with fluffy caterpillar eyebrows. I mean, you're correct on both accounts. What can I say? Yeah, and it's a Ushioni. Let me Google that right quick. Ushioni. Yep. Ox Demon, also known as Yuuki. What can you tell me about it? Sure enough, depicted as a spider with a bull's head, and Wikipedia has this exact picture, except the horns and the tips of the claws are colored, and the eyes, yeah, it's a little bit differently colored, but mostly the same picture. Brutal, savage personalities. Their appearance varies. And of course, it differs by prefecture. Relics, festivals. Is there a mention of powers, or does it also vary by prefecture? Enjoy killing and eating humans. Yeah. Okay, Control F, shadow. Only a single mention? Only a single mention, yeah. So, in Wakayama Prefecture specifically, Ushi make contact with a hiker and drain their energy from the shadow. No mention of licking. Control F, lick. No, nothing about licking. So I guess it's a mixture of actual legends and whatever the show created. Ushi only licks a person's shadow, they suddenly begin drooling. Yeah, grows hot, and eventually they die. Borrowing the power of Ushi and he can smell out the curiosities. He really just can. It really seems like Otto and Ren are different from humans in that their senses are somehow focused on curiosities, right? They can smell them out, they can reverse their effects with their sight, right? Maybe I'm onto something. Ren and Otto's senses are focused on curiosities. Explanation. Eyes can revert them. Noses can smell them, etc. And also we get a little bit of sniffing fan service. This is great out of context, isn't it? And the cause is the ornament, and his eyes are wide open. Not that strong in a physical confrontation, though. Yeah, she bit one of the pearls. And I really thought that she just maybe bit one of the beads off or a piece of a bead off, and Sumireko is gonna get it, right? Everything's gonna be fine, everything's peachy, we solved the case, yippee. But the news rejects it. It's not a curiosity. No longer, it used to be one, but it no longer is. What the fuck are you bringing me here, Ren? You can't get a mint candy for it, let alone a ticket. And the drippers, or whatever the fuck they're called anymore, keep appearing at school. And it's because Sensei bit piece of it and swallowed it, right? And the story continues. I fully expected something like that to happen. But no, I don't know why she bit the bracelet. Well, bracelet, hairband, whatever. I guess it could also be used as a bracelet. And the direct lick is apparently way more dangerous, or Sensei can control exactly how dangerous her lick is. Right? It could cause a mild fever and some drooling, enough to cause a student to stay at home, but not enough to endanger their life. Or if she really wants it, she can just set a motherfucker on fire, like she did here. Horses moo, cows neigh, stones drift, leaves sink. Right, that's the reversal. We already heard it once. And apparently it can reverse or alleviate Oni's powers. I was wondering about the curse, right? When you curse someone, you also curse yourself. And I guess the manifestation of it is the horns. She did not have the horns earlier. I assume that's because she used only the mild version of the curse. But now she used the curse in full power. So it starts manifesting not just in her shadow, but also in her, but also physically. Interesting. Yeah, that's where she got the bracelet from. Also, very interesting hair. She already has cow horns. She's missing cow ears, and the little tufts of hair kinda are reminiscent of cow's ears, aren't they? Very interesting design. Yeah, those are just cow ears. Huh. The inverse phrases of Ushimarobi. Let me Google that right quick. Ushimarobi. Oh, I'm just getting Japanese results and then references to Unioshi. Nothing about Ushimarobi. Okay, sure. Stems directly sync, yeah. Repeating inverse phrases is one method of counteracting an ushi only. So you just have to keep repeating, yeah, inverted things. Feathers are heavy, steel is light. Feather is heavy, steel is light, right? Stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if that would work. Maybe if the ushi only was Limmy. Not an amulet, a curse. Ushi no Tama. Everything has to do with ushi, cow, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, limbic system genuinely has no idea of subject. In general, our brains are pretty damn stupid if you think about it. For example, to our brain, there is very little, if any, difference between imagination and reality. Genuinely. If you imagine something to your brain, it's as if it happened. The only way to distinguish imagination from reality is, first of all, that you know that you imagined it. That's like the biggest thing. And then the sensations and feelings. If you imagine that you ate a piece of cake, but you cannot recall its flavor, chances are you imagined it and didn't actually consume that cake. Or if you ate a full meal but you're still hungry, well, you imagined eating that full meal. Although with flavor, not always. Like my my imagination is kind of a curse because I can imagine everything down to texture and flavor. So very often I find myself, sitting there imagining, oh, I'm gonna, stand up and I have some pizza in the fridge and I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna heat it up and oh, it's gonna be some nice pizza and I no longer crave pizza and I no longer have the motivation to stand up and go and eat. It's a blessing and a curse, but yeah, in general, to a human brain there is no difference, and that's one of the explanations for what should I call it? Forgot the name. It's like French name. Not je ne sais quoi. Uh, when you think that you already saw something or experienced something, right? It's your brain creating a false memory of that and treating it as a proper memory because there is no difference for the brain. It's weird how brains work. There's a condition where people just cannot recognize faces. Like they see the eyes, right? They see the nose, they see the mouth, they see everything, but who the fuck is that? No, they don't know that. They can see the face, they can see the features, but they cannot recognize who that is. Brain is crazy, and it's scary how crazy it is, because one single malfunction and you just stop being you. That's a nightmare for today. That's another thing to worry about. Am I still recognizing people? Our brains can't distinguish between them and ourselves. Yeah, that's how empathy works as well. Another bit of cliffhanger. What the fuck am I talking anymore? Another bit of fan service. Yeah, that's how empathy works. You see someone's pain and you treat it as your own, basically. And not just pain, you see someone's happiness as well, and you take it as your own. If you curse someone, then dig 2 graves. Right. I needed to send my little sister home. So he says, so he claims, so he repeats. And I guess we now have a confirmation that she is his sister. Confirmation from his mouth, so whatever that counts for, right? I can create a world with no bullying. Assuming you can always bear witness to the bullying and you can always be there to lick the shadow. There is, what, we're nearing 5 billion people in the world, assuming 1 billion being in school age. Yeah, you're not covering that, sensei. You're not creating a world with no bullying. You can create a school with no bullying, not a world though. And even school is debatable, right? You have bad record when it comes to false positives. Yeah, you don't even allow friends to goof around with each other. Exactly. I didn't want to do this, and gaze into the abyss. And his power really seemed... Oh, I already have it noted down, right? Yeah, eyes can revert them. He can just reflect curses. And we get a nice bit of backstory. This seems like a dead world. People are just charred corpses. Brutalist architecture. He has no shoes. And yet that world doesn't look different from our own, does it? Like, people don't have antennae, and there are no 2 suns in the sky. Then again, we have not really seen the sky, so I can't really claim that, but from what little we've seen, they dress like us, they have hair like us, they have buildings like us, right? They look exactly like humans. So I wonder really what's the deal with that other world. The feelings of those who have been excluded from the world. I've no clue what it means, and I'm dying to learn that. I love this shit. I fucking love this shit. I love interdimensional tomfuckery of all sorts and descriptions. Really, it's one of my favorite themes where you have some vague shit like excluded from the world. What does it mean? I don't know, but it sounds so cool, and you can do so much cool shit with it, right? What is the world? Is it just a space? Is it a dimension? Is it a planet? What's going on there? And I've really been into this concept since I can remember, honestly. When I was like 10, 11-ish, I was trying to write a little bit of a novel, and one of the ideas there was that monsters from another world were coming into this one, and that was an issue. But those monsters were coming into this world because their world was crumbling. And that was such a genius idea to me. Their world is crumbling. What does it mean? Well, of course, the reality itself is cracking and crumbling, and they have to escape their reality. I'm gonna have to pick up that idea one day. I love this shit. I genuinely, honestly do. Excluded from the world. What does it mean? And it also has an effect on him. Are his eyes single use, or is it just some damage done to them and he can recover eventually? I don't know. That's another thing that's unclear. Will she be alright? Yeah, did you do this? I just gave it a little push. Yeah, that's all of the curses that she cast on people coming back to her. But because none of those curses was a curse of death, she didn't die. She just experienced the heat times however many she casted. She experienced the drooling times however many times she casted, but none of that killed her because she killed none. I like this mechanic. I really like it. If she's killed someone, then she won't live either. Yeah, what goes around comes around. You'll recover from a certain level of injury. Yeah, so it's... Yeah, Curse of Youth is similar to Shape Memory, so it's less that you shape your... like, you mold your body into a different form, but rather you have a save point of adult me, and you can go back to that save point, and all of the injuries, shit like that, will just not persist. Interesting. Your eyes, are you okay? Yeah, and he has one of his eyes open. They communicate telepathically through eyes. Ren and Otto communicate telepathically through eyes. Yeah, that's it. The only option I had was to see. Oh, the talisman is just an empty shell, yeah. You're more important than a ticket. Don't push yourself so hard. Okay, so I'm guessing he will recover, right? And yeah, the horns stay, so I guess a permanent physical change? Or temporary, like in case of Sumireko. I wonder. Dribbler incidents have been solved. And yeah, all of the girls that she thought to be bullies, turns out they're not. They're nice, happy, earnest girls who genuinely like their sensei and who want her to be back and who want to apologize and who are at no fault whatsoever. And yet she did all of that to them. Doesn't that make her a bully? Right? That's the biggest dilemma here. If you bully a bully, are you yourself a bully? Can you steal from a thief? Right? Chinrinki. Let me Google that. Chinrinki. Chapter 1, Mysterious Disappearances on Manga Decks. Of course. Second result, Chiki game. Well, that's not it. Third result, read Mysteries, Maidens, and Mysterious Disappearances chapter whatever on Manga Decks TV. I guess some mirror of mangadex.org. Another result, 10 manga, manga reader, manga decks, 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 copilot. Yeah, I'm using Bing, not Google for clarity, but searching is basically the same as Googling, so I just use those terms interchangeably. So I guess Chinirinki is not an actual thing, unless it's maybe spelled differently and Bing wasn't able to find it. Fierce god with 8 heads, winged and red in color. Fragments became Ushioni, and I assume every head became one of Ushioni. Teacher must have been weakening the curse's true power by reciting inverse phrases. So, like, she was purposefully making the curse weaker. Yeah. And the cat. The cat, the fucking cat. The cat is always there. The cat is always there. And this is the first line in my book of theories on mysterious disappearances that does not start with Ren. It starts with the. What's the deal with the cat? I mean, I know that, you know, cats have insight into the paranormal, they can see ghosts, yada yada, so probably something along those lines, but doesn't explain why the cat is always there in every single episode it appears. I'm not sure if it's the exact same cat, but in every episode there is a cat, at least. Teacher's powers, the curiosity's question. What's the deal with her? And that's a CG wheelchair. Holy shit, it's ugly. Holy shit, it's ugly. It's... Come on. I'm sorry, this looks like fucking early 2000s CG. It's just an untextured fucking Blender model. This looks like shit. And it's not even that complex to draw. What the fuck? I mean, I guess it's not that significant either, so it doesn't really matter. But, god damn it. Really? It doesn't even move in this shot. Could you not have drawn this? There's something sinister. Her glasses are glowing. There's something sinister about her. I don't know what though. What connection does she have to the sensei? Did she learn that sensei caused her suffering and she wants revenge? Maybe. It would create a nice tie into the next episode, right? And would mean that while the show might be a little bit episodic in nature, there are ties between episodes, and I likey. Me likey. And then a story that Ren reads to Otto about a fox and a boy. Simply walk alone like a rhino's horn. Winner of the Newcomers Award, Ogawa Sumireko. And I like that the style of the cover is all inky, blacky, like the ending. Although the ending is like sand painting and not ink, but you know, to a similar effect. Sensei's fucking charm is in the ending. That's another thing that tells me it's going to be significant, and the scene of Sumireko enjoying her school days. But we don't see the wolf girl, for example, in the ending. Not that I can see that, at least. So it tells me that the sensei and the school will be recurring somehow, somewhat. You liked the story, didn't you? And the next episode is a bath, cleaning, and a surprise. So a again, not cliffhanger episode. What is it with me in cliffhangers today? A fan service episode, as if every other episode wasn't fan service already. Alright. This video might have been a little bit more rambly than I would like it to be. But I have a tendency to go rambly when it's late and I'm running on little sleep, so you will have to forgive me that. I don't think an episode like that every now and then is bad necessarily, so I don't know. Tell me in the comments, what did you think of it? Was I actually more rambly than usual? I don't know. But yeah, a very good episode. I very much enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it, I enjoyed the story, I did not enjoy the bits with bullying, but it's because they were powerful enough to elicit emotions in me, and powerful enough to, you know, get into my empathy and make me want to stop it. Right? Make me want to stop it and not look at it, skip it, because I know that I can't jump into the screen and do anything about it. It made me just want to not look at it, avoid it. So I guess it's a testament to how well it was executed, really. I like the resolution. I was afraid genuinely that the sensei might actually die. I'm glad that she's okay. I'm glad that she has the chance to see the error of her ways a little bit, right? She has a chance to see that, yeah, the girls that she, you know, that she cursed, they're just nice girls. They like her as a teacher, right? They're not bullies whatsoever. And what was I about to say? How was I about to frame it? What I mean is that the sensei can still very much continue her crusade against bullying in the capacity that she already has as a teacher, right? A teacher has authority. A teacher can notice bullying happening and can start the machine to do something about it. It's not like she's powerless without her charm, without her, god of cows or whatever help, right? I wonder if we're gonna see more of the school. I think we might, with how Otto seems to be a recurring character now, and how decently important Sensei seems to be in the opening and ending. Wouldn't surprise me if we were to visit the school a couple more times still, and I would really be curious to see how Sensei deals with bullying now that she cannot rely on magic, but rather has to utilize the tools that she already had at her disposal and still has. A lot of mystery still. There's a lot of mystery to this show, and I really like it. I already gushed about the, being banished from a world for long enough, but I really, really like the mystery around Ren, the mystery around Otto, the mystery about their world. The curiosities are like, yeah, whatever. It could be, in any other show. Urban legends, ancient relics, whatever. It's, right? It's usual. It's common enough to not be a big selling point. But the mystery around the Ren, the mystery around Otto, that's what sells me on the show the most. Because if you were to remove those factors, you would just have a big boobed girl and a legal shota going around the city looking for urban legends. And that would be it. It would probably still be fun with characters like those, right? I really like their energy, I really like their banter, I really like their chemistry, I really enjoy them both individually as characters, so it would probably be still a fun show. But because we also have this whole noose, the metro station, Ren's weird eyes, stuff like that, right? Them supposedly being from another world, it just elevates it even further beyond what this show would already be, even without those elements. I'm enjoying myself thoroughly. So, yeah. I think that's gonna be it, honestly, for now, for today from me. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Kaii to Otome, but also Unnamed Memory, Blue Archive, Spice and Wolf, Yuuki, Yuuna, Sentai Daishikaku, and others coming in the future. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below. On Patreon for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1, you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. On YouTube, you can support me via membership, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons. QB without Annette, the Survivor, Watson, Zarena, Yuuki, Ala, Ishtam, Dr. Watako, Master Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them as well without having to lose your hair tie.